everybody, my name is Benjamin and welcome back to another video on the Great Creative YouTube channel. Today I am back in Roblox Defenders Depot here with my equalizers, where today over here my mouse just does not want to work. I don't know, I think it's breaking. It is quite old, it just doesn't want to click anymore. But yeah, we are going to be fixing this problem over here, these cataclysms. Old news. We're here for the equalizers over right here. So let's claim. Yep. There's 24. That's 20. That's about 25 trillion. Huh. Okay. Let's go. I guess let's get to work. You say 25 trillion? I say equalizer. I'm probably deleting way too many of them right now, but I don't care. Here we go. Let's go from the back here. That one more cell. There we go. Let's find it. Equalizer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Easy, with plenty to spare. I'm keeping those cataclysms at the edge there because I don't know if the equalizer is going to make it, so I'm going to get every other equalizer maxed out for... Wait. Nope, I've done something wrong. I've done something wrong. There we go. Now it's fixed. Alright. Don't have much money left, but it's good. I think we can get this one maxed out. Yep. And one upgrade here. That's good. It's fine that we've only got these base form. The base form of the equalizer is way better than the maxed out version of the cataclysm anyway. It's already just out of the park. Way better. No doubt about it. So we'll keep trying to win, however, I don't know if we will. Because it is, well, it's getting hard now. It's getting rather challenging. Bit of a struggle to win now. So with that, we're just going to keep trying, I guess. We've got a lot of equalizers here. I don't think we're going to win still, though. If we're looking at this line here, we've got a full line there. Most of them are on pretty high HP. So we're definitely doing better than we did with the cataclysms, but I don't think we're doing it by much. You know, as much as the massive gap between increase here is like 2.1 mil and 600k, like 700k. You know, timesing the entire damage by 3, upping the speed by 0.2. Lowering the range by 8, I really don't think is making much of a difference considering the other factors in it, considering the speed and damage. So they are way better than the Cataclysm, so I'm surprised we're not doing as much damage as I expected, really. I thought we were going to do a little better than that, you know, considering how many were left when we lost there. But I don't know, maybe we got a pretty unlucky round, timing and such. But, I don't know, I guess we're just going to have to deal with it. And keep working on our money and upgrading. So even with 25 trillion, we can't win this round. I know we were struggling with it a lot last episode too. Every single time. But we now have all equalizers, except the cataclysms at the end. But we're going to test those once we've got everything maxed out. So I don't think it really counts because it's not reaching, so it's just a little extra damage. If the equalizer probably can make it. Well, let's have a look at this. I mean, I don't know. Is that much 6 difference? I don't know. I mean, if we're looking at this and it reaches all the way over there, that's the same as this reaching. Hold up, let me click on. That's the same as this reaching this. So I think it would hit, but it'd only be able to hit everything once. And it's not going to hit everything as well because of the speed, obviously. I don't think anything can hit that quickly other than the minigun. The minigun, honestly, that was particularly terrible. I remember back in the old episodes, I just skipped right past it because the stats were not better than the previous turret at all, and the next turret was way better. Minigun's just not worth investment, really. Yeah, I don't know what episode that was, though, because that was before I had thumbnails and started putting like the names of the turrets in the title. So, I don't know. We'll have to look through those in the playlist. If you want to, really. If you don't want to look for it, don't blame you. Honestly. I still think of this channel as really new. You know, like just emerging and everything. But it's already a couple months old. It's December now. It's December. Like it's the 1st of September. Not the September. It's the 1st of December today. This comes out tomorrow on the 2nd of December, and that's August, September, October. That's three and a bit months. That's a quarter of a year. And the channel's been going on for that long already? Jeez, it's... honestly. And to be honest, the subscriber growth through that time has been great as well. I haven't mentioned it in any of my previous video, which, honestly, I can't remember. But we hit 50 subscribers. That's crazy, we hit 50. That was really cool. Good to see. Just woke up one morning and now it's 50. I was checking my alarm and I just saw YouTube studio notification. Maybe I hit 50 subscribers. No, I only got my 49th last night. Can't be. Woke up later the day. It's 50. The number is 50. So that was pretty neat, reaching 50 subscribers. That was cool. Had a lot of fun celebrating. Well, I didn't do anything for celebration. I just silently, just cheering around. Just jumping about, cheering. Yeah, we're going to keep upgrading these. Doing good. Still not winning this round by any means whatsoever. But we're going to keep trying. So let's keep trying to win. Alright. Good to beat 86% of players. Beating 86% of players is pretty neat. And that is a thing. Right. I've got to put the computer on Do Not Disturb. Well, it's fine. I don't think I'll get any more notifications. But yeah, we're doing a good job defeating, doing a lot of damage to this round, but we really are losing by a lot still. You know, from the daily reward, we got 25 million. Usually that'd be enough to push us ahead for another 10, 20 rounds or something. You know, this is... no. Yeah, 25 trillion really was not enough for this. And it might just be because I used it as an investment to swap everything to an equalizer and not max it out, but, you know, we're working on the maxing out now, but I think even when we do max out all these equalizers, we won't be able to defeat this round anyway, because it just seems like we're losing by so much. A full line of those with barely any spacing is... I don't know, it just doesn't seem possible currently. So I think we are actually just going to have to move completely on to another turret before we can actually defeat stage 319. So that's my guess on how it's going to go, but who knows. What even is the next turret for us to get? What is the next turret? Let's have a look in build menu. There we go. The next one is the Orb of Darkness, 20 trillion. Let's have a look at that. 4 million damage, range of 40, but a speed of 0.6. Can I open one of these at the same time? Yep, maxed out. So that is an upgrade in 0.5 million damage, but you're looking at a massive range there, like over doubling the range of the equalizer. What was the range of the orb? The range of the orb of light was 40 as well, and I remember that being great. That covered like the entire thing back when we had a much smaller row of lines, but you know, like the orb of light was good enough for me to know that 40 range is amazing. But that was also 0.6 speed as well, looking at it. Yeah, this is just the exact same thing. Same speed, same range, just way better damage, obviously. You're doing 50 damage back then. If you have a look at that, we're looking at, half the speed, particularly, and 0.5 million damage more. I don't know what would happen if we maxed out that Orb of Darkness, but it'd probably be a lot more. We'd have a lot more damage under the belt, and we'd hopefully upgrade the speed, because speed certainly needs upgrades when it's down at 0.6. That's not the best speed. You want a bit more than that, but we'll have to live with it. At least the range is good, so even with that slow speed, it'll be attacking over a massive range of area. You know, looking at double range, you know, that's worth the half in speed, really. Because, you know, it's a bit off on, you know, just thinking about it. Because you go up to 19 range, which means it's off by 2 range, right? But then it's also off by 0.2 speed as well, isn't it? Yeah. Now that doesn't entirely make up for each other, but it does. Like having exact doubles, yeah, that makes up exactly. But with it being 0.2 off on both, it might, you know, it could. If you look at that, but then it's also a smaller difference every time because, you know, it's just another ring. You know, it's like each one upgraded range is another ring, which actually means that it's more range being added by each number, unless they equate it so that it adds on less every single time the range goes up by 1, which I think they probably should do considering balancing. Look at this. I don't think they do, because looking at 1 on there looks like a big difference. Like you're looking at that there to about there where the finger is. And that is a fair amount of difference. So it looks like they might be measuring it by, you know, the distance that it comes out and not by an actual total range. You know? So that's definitely a thing. And the speed as well, it never gives a measurement for the speed, but I'm just going to assume, just by the number that it is that's how many times that it attacks per second. I'm just going to assume that, because one's around 1. You know, you count ones easily enough. You know, you can count 1 second. And you so like 1, 1, 1, 1. And you can see them attack at each one. You know, it's a bit faster because it's 1.3, but, you know, you can kind of get that rhythm to it. So I'm just going to assume that that's how many times they attack per second. So range, you can see, is measured of distance from the previous instead of an actual amount of increase. And I'm not measuring that, that's in like millimeters. Don't really need to, but yeah, it depends on, because of the increase in space, like how fast the enemy is also moving, because how fast the enemy is moving across said range also impacts the difference between the range and the speed, and also the coverage as well. Like you put one down here in this bottom left corner, like that's not gonna have as much range that's actually on the path. You know, it's got that range, it's got that like high range, but that high range isn't, you know, it's not reaching the full path, meaning that they're not staying on it for as long, meaning that it's just not being used, which means that the speed or the range doesn't quite equate unless the speed is like way up, you know. So it doesn't quite come together as just an equal, like, you know, if they go up by the same amount, that means they have the same effect. It's not particularly like that. But yeah, damage, that's easy to equate, but it doesn't quite relate to the speed and the range. That's the thing. Like when you're calculating, like it could have the same speed, but it could have like way more damage, but then less range. But then it's just intertwining those to see if it's worth it. You kind of just got to make it with a gut feeling. Because it's, you know, no matter how many equations you can do with it, it's hardly going to add up. You'd have to make like the biggest equation possible to be able to do it, taking into account the range, how far that range is coming out every time. It's like when you get a maths question that's to do with income tax. And it's just like you have to do it every time. You know, it's a 1% increase from, I don't know, 3,000. So you add 30 on, but you can't just add, like, you know, say going for 3 years, you can't just times 3,000 by 3 and then do like 30% of other ways you can do it. You have to do it individually. You do the 3,000 with 1, that's 30, and then you've got 3,030, and then for the second year you're going to have to do 1% of 3,030, and then just keep going like that. It's kind of similar to that with the range coming out because of how it appears to have been measured and inputted. But then when you also have to measure the coverage of the path, the speed of the enemy, the speed of the attack, and how much damage it's doing in said attack. That's too much equation to do because it changes for everyone. Because even though they have the same stats, they're placed in different ways, they're put in different places, and so they cover less path, meaning you have to redo that equation for every single different turret over a massive field of which like you keep extending. So there's never a way where it actually fully adds up and relates to each other. So you just gotta go with gut feeling of, you know, this damage is up, this range is up. You know what? Ignore the speed. Just go with it. Because you're never gonna be able to relate those. It's too complicated of an equation. But throughout my random blathering, we're actually getting rather close to winning. We're only off by a couple million. That's nice. Yeah. Now, there's some that are clearly worse when you're looking at range, speed, and damage. But my general rule is, if 2 things are better, go with it. If 2 things are worse, don't go with it. However, if those 2 that are worse are like close, then go with it. Because as it upgrades, because you'll always compare the maximum to the base. Because if you're comparing a previous base to a new base, then the new base is always going to be better. Because the general consensus to adding a turret to the game is that it has to be better than the next. Better than the last, sorry. It has to be better than the last because you're charging more for it. You're putting more money onto it, so it has to be better than the previous. And so that means that they then have to add more stats to it. So the base and the base, the new ones are always going to be better. But if you're looking at max to base, then you see the actual difference between them. You know, you can see that there, and you can see that if the base of this one is way, way worse than the max of this one, you stay with the max. Because you're never going to be able to see the max stats straight away. Max stats, you're just going to have to look into it properly, because you may not have the money to max out your next Orb of Darkness, so you're just going to have to go with, if these 2 are similar, even if one's worse, you're just gonna have to go with it, unless you build up, max one out and then realise this is way worse. and then you get rid of it and you got to fix it back up. But then you find that there's no way to upgrade in just a massive money gap. Because now that you've skipped this entire one, you've got like trillions, quintillions of a money gap that goes to the next turret, which is why even if a turret is even just marginally better, by 0.1 million, you're going to need it. That could stop so much grinding, because it could be the little thing, because it's 0.1 million in every single turret, and that's going to be the little thing that tips you over the edge to the next stage, which is going to pay you more money. But then again, if you're winning something very closely, but you know you're not going to be able to buy anything for a while, let yourself lose. Because you are bringing that down, and you've only got one enemy left, you're earning a lot. But then, as soon as you come to the next one, where you're losing by a lot more, you're doomed, because you're now no longer getting as much money. Because you're not destroying as many. While there may be more enemies that are worth more, you're not going up against them all. You're only defeating like the first 3. So you got to work with that as well. It's very complicated if you want to go into the in-depth stats of this game, or if you just want to play along and just do as much as you can. Honestly, you can just play along, do the standard strategic of just line, trap, and then just max out everything as it comes and just go on to the next ones. You can always do that, but when you're a boring old nerd like me, well, then you got to do the equations, right? Yeah. Even when I'm grinding, I just like to do random equations of figuring out, oh, is this better? Ooh, how much am I losing by, and how many rounds is it going to take to improve it? Just when I'm getting bored grinding, it's just little equations that I like to have fun with. Yeah, it does look like from my endless blathering, we are actually getting closer to winning this stage. Whether I am running out of time for this video, so I better hurry up in winning. Come on. I mean, we've nearly got them all maxed out as well, so it'd be just as helpful if we could max out every one of these equalizers. Because if we max out every one of these equalizers and we're still losing, I am going to be a bit disappointed, but I mean, I slightly predicted it before, hinting towards it. We might just need an orb of darkness in there to push us over the line. It's really not going too well. Alright. If we're looking at it, we got 2 trillion left in this one that we'll get now. Next one, what is it? It's 1 trillion, and then you got 2 trillion for the next, so that's 4.5 trillion for each. So that is 9 trillion and 18 trillion that we need more. Because we got this one maxed out now. We need 18 trillion more, and if we're earning 2 trillion per time, then that means that we need to do another 9. Yeah, another 9 goes. I didn't see how much time it takes. And it would do 9 times the amount of time that it takes, and then we find out how much longer you'd have to go on for. That's pretty much the exact thing that I do with my equations when I'm grinding. The only thing is, sometimes you have lucky rounds, sometimes you have unlucky rounds, and so that just throws off every single result you could have ever gotten. Because otherwise you just have to do like 5 rounds, calculate the mean of them all, and then do that. But then there's no chance of getting a proper, very accurate equation with this, because every round is different. There's a different amount of timing between each one. There's a different amount of lag between each one. So much can happen between different rounds going on, but yeah, 52 seconds, so you do 50 times 9, that's 460 seconds in a minute. That's 6 minutes. But it's probably going to be a lot shorter than that because of the constant upgrades that I'm doing as well. The constant addition to damage, speed and range. That's also going to affect the results. So I'd also just need to not upgrade to get accurate results, which I'm not upgrading and grinding anyway. But, this is a lot different because I'm doing it in a video. so I am going to upgrade, obviously. Yeah. Come on. We got some good extra damage on here. Hopefully we should be closer to winning. And just winning overall in general. Come on, this has been an entire episode. This entire episode cannot just be like grinding. I need something more than just grinding here. I need a victory. This stage has been going on for too long. I've been blathering on through this stage for too long. We must win here. Come on. Well, obviously, we lost by like 50 million there. Come on. It's 2 trillion on that one. We just need 4.5, 9, 13.5 trillion more. Come on, we just need like 7 rounds more. Come on. Come on, let's work with this. Alright, here they come. You know what, I'm going to grab this crate. Who knows, maybe we'll pick up an extra couple trillion. Probably not. The money that you get from these crates is basically non-existent anyway. I got a slow time or slow spawn. Whatever. I don't care about those power-ups. Those power-ups are basically just cheating. And we were losing by about 15 million, I think it was that. 15 million to 20 trillion. You know, still losing by more than I'd like, but it's an improvement. It's an improvement, and that's all I can ask for at this point. Come on. Let's get a win out of this. There we go, that's another upgrade. If my mouse would like to work. Oh, and it's just double. Alright. And I am not paying money. I'm not paying real money for fake money. That seems pointless. Alright, we should be able to max this one out once we're done with this stage. Come on, let's see how much we're losing by now. That one's gone. One's gone. 13, 20. Ooh, we're losing by about 8 there. You know what? We get an extra 0.5 mil there. And I think by the time they get round, we could get another. How much is the damage upgrade here? First one. Yeah, I think we're getting an extra 1 million damage on at the end here for every single hit that they take, which is going to be a couple. So we could win this time. We could be getting close to winning this time. Come on. We can do this. We can do this. Alright. Getting really close. 200 billion and we get this upgrade. 150. 153. Go, upgrade. Right. Should get another upgrade by the time this round is finished. At least. Okay, this looks like a further more unlucky round, to be honest. I don't think we're going to get anywhere as near winning. Oh wait. Oh wait. Yes! We did it! Completion. Stage 319 completed. We are now on stage 320. I have had enough. I have had enough of this stage. And I'm glad we're over it. But unfortunately, one stage is all we're going to get because I've run out of time. But I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. See you all in the next one. Goodbye. And as always, stay creative.